Okay, hi, this is Joel. I am going to go through my playbook trade for November 27th, 2018. And this is a play out of my playbook called the Opening Drive Scalp. Okay, so earnings season is over. There's not as many abundant opportunities or obvious in-play stocks every day. As a developing trader, been trying to focus on second day plays on stocks that I've watched closely the day before that at least have levels that I know about, and maybe the upside on these trades isn't as much as some of these in-play names, but maybe a little less risky based on just having watched it for a whole day and seeing these already defined levels based on the fact that it was in play the day before. I wanted to try the same trade I did on last Friday, where I watched a stock that had been in play the day before, that had finished the day coming up on a important intraday level, where I basically did a scalp as soon as it popped over that level. This looked like a candidate as well, based on the fact that it had basically bounced from 46 and trended up the rest of the day, finished right below 46.50. And when I was watching the tape yesterday afternoon, there's a whole bunch of buying that took place in and around the 46, 20, 30, 40 area. Also, just part of the big picture is the SPY finished at the high of the day yesterday. Okay, so I used the break of 46.50 level for this trade. Use the same rules as last time, which basically are set a stop limit, try to get in, immediately set my stop loss, in this case for 11 cents theoretically, or 12 cents if I got in at 46.50. And then after I set that this time, though, I was going to try to just set my stop limit right underneath the overhead resistance level that I identified to try to scalp a quick profit versus letting it run out, because I've come to realize in this market, especially with these types of plays, that right now it's just not going to have a follow through, and I shouldn't expect that. So hence why it's a scalp and it's not a trade to hold. And yeah, it's a second day play. I watched this stock all day yesterday. So you can see this is a 30-minute chart from yesterday. You can see when it opened, it got above this 48 level, even above 48.50 before getting knocked back down. Again, got up again to 48.50 and got knocked back down. This would have been a good short if you had been watching this, I suppose. So finally got below $48, and it just trended down the rest of the day. But you can see 47 is an area where that acted as resistance, and then the same with 46.50. Where 46 was kind of a big support. So you can see at the end of the day, it ended up basically right below this 46.50 level. So I thought, well, there's a possibility that tomorrow it could very well try to pop up over this, depending on what it did overnight, and hit this 47. Now you can also see that you see this little tick right here where somebody, there was a sale here in the pre-market. And to be honest, I noticed this after I had already made the trade and stuff, but that's why I use a stop limit. So if the market had opened and it had been up there, I just wouldn't have gotten filled until it came back down, because the limit I had was 46.55. So there's no action in the pre-market. I was feeling a bit nervous when the opening bell went off, and basically one trade took place in 1 minute. I was worried that my computer was frozen or something. I've never traded a stock that was this choppy, that had this large of a spread, but I still hung in there with my idea, especially because it happened rather quickly. But after this, I decided just to stop trading it for the day and abandon my other ideas for this stock. Even though had I stayed with it, I would have made a nice short, but it was just the spread was so large, I didn't know how well I could be controlling my risk, so I decided to just move on. So here's a chart. This is a 1 minute chart. You can see
Stock opened at about 46. It actually kind of gapped down to 46.20, came up, got rebuffed. Like you can see how choppy this is. Eventually went up. I got filled at 46.55 after setting my stop loss. I initially then, set a limit order up here at 46.92. I saw someone else cut in front of me and get filled at 46.91. And seeing this, I adjusted my own order down to that. And then I got filled, and you can see it ended up going up 20 more cents from there. So I don't really know that that did anything. And I think maybe I even was confused in the moment. I might be wrong. Maybe I wasn't. Thought I saw in the moment I was thinking I saw the bid was sitting there at 46.91, but I think it was actually the offer. So anyways, it just happened that worked out. But yeah, just next time just try to slow down even more and be even more cognizant. But still, just seeing that someone got filled at that point, I decided, it's up there. What's 1 cent? I want to take this before it possibly comes back down. And like I say, at the bottom, the stock was very thin today in terms of volume. You can see comparatively, like, look at the first candle in the first minute versus like the last minute of the day yesterday, and then like the first minute of the pre-market or post-market. It's got to be 10, 20 times that. So I improved on the last time I did this trade. Identified overhead resistance and set a limit order near this to try and quickly take profits. And I also identified this as a good opportunity to try this trade, which was nice. So now that's 2 times in a row I've done this successfully. The first time I did it, so if I go back, I've done this now 3 days in a row. I think the first time I tried this, though, was on a day when the stock was actually in play. And then I didn't adjust my stop loss up, so I improved this time. But the next time I improved, was able to make some profit. This time, improved even more by setting a limit order up near the overhead resistance. I think I need to keep trying this out and see the success rate and how many times this comes up. And I also need to look at my stop loss for this trade and think if I should use a smaller one, because that RVR is not very good, even though it worked out. But then I also don't really know if I need to be risking that much anyways, especially if I'm getting it when it's flushing through there. And I don't leave it there for very long. I mean, I instantly moved the stop up, but nevertheless, initial risk ended up being 16 cents. So that's an area of improvement. But I think this has the potential to be something that occurs pretty frequently, and it might just be less risky of a situation because the levels are defined and there's just not as much going on, and there's less crowded maybe. Although today it wasn't. It was like disturbingly not crowded. So anyways, also need to understand that the market's weak right now and stocks aren't following through, and I might need to tweak this eventually if I see that every time I do this I'm leaving like a point or something on the table, because it just keeps, if it does go through, it has follow through, and I take 40 cents instead of taking $1.40. But for now, I think this is good in this current climate. And that's my playbook trade for November 27th, 2018.